Hey to the people, what's going on? It's me, Chase. This is No Chase to TV. I am here with Sammie and Antonio. We're going to break down the last part of the reunion. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bells, and just keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you the long and the short way. I see everybody coming in over there down to the Instagram. Hey to the people on Instagram. And let's just go ahead and get right into it because we got a lot to get into because not only do we have the reunion, but I'm sure people want to talk about Shamia crashing out like she has been lately. Hey, Amanda K. Wait a minute, before I do that, wait, y'all hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear it?
I can't.
It's somebody at the door. It's Cortez. Hi.
I'm like, what is it?
You.
Shit, me too.
Cortez,
Cortez, are you joining us tonight?
I'm here, child. What's going on?
All right.
What's up, pretty face? Ooh.
Hey, I got my husband over here next to me. We.
Okay.
I feel like I ain't seen you in forever.
Child, I just been being.
Portia say nothing. Phaedra just living. What you been up to, Phaedra? Just living.
Just living. But I've been here. I've been tuning into this drama in these shows, so I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah, so we're ready to hear everything that you guys have to say. Make sure, again, now that you see who's all up here, you like, comment, subscribe, and leave 5 stars on the podcast if you can. It will be greatly appreciated. Since it's been a while since we've had Cortez on the show, I wanted to ask Cortez, what has he thought about the season so far? And then we're going to go ahead and get into the reunion. Cortez, tell us what you've been thinking.
I enjoyed it. I think it was a good fresh start of a reboot-ish, whatever they want to call it. It ended so weird because I didn't think that I would feel this way about Shamia. I don't dislike Shamia, let me just be clear, but I will say she clicked all the way down, child, from where about her earlier. So it's been good. Like Angela was a good addition. I think everybody added to it. The one thing that I'm actually sad about, and you guys may disagree, I don't know, but I kind of, after watching, and I think I said this the last time because I was here, maybe like the episode before it finished or whatnot, the season ended. I really wish that Brit had not done what she did or all that, because I would have liked to seen her come back next season. I feel like everybody that we did not expect to redeem themselves did. I think Drew ended up great. I think Angela, I don't know, I'm still wishy-washy with her. But I thought it was good. It was good. It was a good season. I do want to see what they do next season. I do.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed the season as well. Did you say that you are wishy-washy with Angela?
I am. I had some. I don't know. It's not because it's that Phaedra. I just feel like some of that last little Junebug stuff seemed a little, I don't know, a little staged. That's just me.
You seem a little unhinged, if we're just gonna be honest.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of misguided energy, and like it was just like where she was trying to point the finger. There's someone trying to come at her for a check or whatever. I think she was trying to do that exactly. That's just me. I don't know.
And I know that Antonio and Sammie don't necessarily feel the same, or I don't want to speak for them, but I'm gonna speak for them. I don't think that they do, because I think last week they felt as if Phaedra absolutely 9 times out of 10 has something to do with that setup, and that Angela wasn't imagining that. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was correct, because I remember we got a comment about that, thanking the two of you for standing on Phaedra's neck, because they felt like a lot of the other reviewers did not stand on Phaedra's neck in regards to what happened. Speaking of standing on necks, Portia has her 10-inch stilettos on Shamia's neck, and she's not letting it go.
That's true.
Because she tells the foreclosure story about their moms that actually House of Aaron broke. Basically, the story was Portia mama couldn't keep her business together, and it was going into foreclosure. And I don't know if it was like that, but Portia's mom's daycare was going into foreclosure. Mama Diane, it's a lot of D's. Diane's daycare was going into foreclosure, and she confided in Shamia's mom, Sharon, about it. Next thing you know, Sharon purchases the business, and Diane is not aware of it until they're driving by one day, and that is the story. And Portia, brought that up. Shamia is confused as to why they are talking about moms in the first place, but it is deep rooted, and she does not want to go there because that's not all that transpired between the moms. And go ahead. Oh, Andy goes ahead and shuts that down very quickly and just let's move on. Let's move on. And then Cynthia, excuse me, Portia says you were talking about me behind my back. Shamia says we were talking about each other behind each other's back. And Cynthia chimes in with something I guess she does know about and says, no, no, no. Britt said, she was the one who brought up Portia to you. Excuse me, she was the one who brought up Shamia to Portia. It's just a lot of bird back and forth, in my opinion. But she was the one who brought up Shamia to Portia and not the other way around. So Portia really was not talking about you behind your back. You came up. Shamia owns talking about Portia and wishes she had a third party there when she was speaking to the other girls about Portia because she feels that the girls felt that their friendship was lopsided. Drew says it was obvious that Shamia needed to vent and she felt like they were a safe space. And Shamia says, so I thought. So then Portia says that, not only has Shamia talked to these girls, but she's also gone and told our private friend group that I did not want her on the show. And now these girls are echoing the same sentiments. So it aligns with you talking about me to everybody who would listen. Andy confirms that Portia always wanted Shamia to be on the show. And then they talk about Portia Portia and Phaedra possibly ruining Shamia's marriage by those accusations that they made. And Portia says, listen, I do just as much, if not more pressed than you because I've been on the show longer and I've never disparaged you. Shamia felt like that was a dig and so did Kelly, but Portia denies it wasn't a dig, it's just the facts. Kelly wants Shamia to be upfront and honest with Portia about how she feels, as this is her moment. And Portia says, no, that's not that bitch moment. It's not. It's really not her motherfucking moment. As Shamia sits there and does nothing. Sorry. Portia says that Shamia will always try to use stuff against her to make her look bad. And Kelly says, we'll stop right there. Portia says that she always thinks that when they're talking, Shamia tries to use things against her to make her look bad. And Shamia says, this is hard for me to express myself with you because every time I tell you how I feel, I'm making you look bad and I'm making you feel bad as opposed to how I'm feeling about what's going on in the friendship. So I want to go ahead and really just touch on that because there's a lot of bullshit that's going on up in there. And yes, Portia did win, in my opinion, in regards to the back and forth with Shamia and like being on top of things. But Portia full of shit, in my opinion. And I see a lot of people talking about Shamia, and yeah, we're gonna get into Shamia ass, but Portia ass deserve to get got into as well. Like I think for me, okay, Shamia was wrong for going around your back and talking about you to the girls, but why would you bring up the moms? Like if you like, I just don't understand why that was necessary for her to bring up at all, in my opinion. And Antonio, I want to know what you thought about her bringing up the moms and the conversation surrounding that.
For me, I mean, I think that if they were going to bring up the moms, then they should have went ahead and for me laid it all out on the table. I know everybody else seemed like they had a bit more of some inside story regarding it because everybody was like, "Ooh, yeah, no." Me, on the other hand, as a viewer and looking to be entertained, I wanted to know what happened. So I think that it shouldn't have came up at all if they weren't going to discuss it. Clearly, there has been a lot of hurt, not just with with Shamia and Portia, but even going back to their mamas. Like this is something that that's been going on for a while. I wish that Shamia had taken the time, not necessarily to prepare for the reunion, because Portia actually prepared. She seemed like they sat down with some of PJ flashcards and wrote some notes down, and they really asked her, "Hey, such and such from Timbuktu wants to know why you did X, Y, and Z," and she was like on it. She had an answer for everything, and it was a well articulated answer. It wasn't something where she was fumbling and jumbling and stuff like that, like Phaedra was when Charles was talking to her. It was she like really represented herself well. Do I still think that it's all Shamia's fault? No, I think it's both of their faults. I just think that in this situation, we say Portia won because I do think Portia was more prepared than Shamia. I don't know. I don't know what Shamia thought was going to happen, and this also isn't Shamia's first reunion. It may be her first reunion as a housewife, but she's been there a few times, so she knows how it goes. So to go back to what you kind of said earlier about Portia being full of shit, I think they both were full of shit. Portia was just able to kind of crawl her way out of her bullshit better than Shamia was.
which is weird, Cortez, because like Antonio said, Shamia, this is not her first rodeo, so I don't understand. Like, let me just say this: like, for me, if you bringing up the mamas, and the story is, and this is the story we're rolling with, my mama is the one who stole your mama business, so my mama is the bad friend. No, let's talk about how your mama allegedly did this, that, and the third. If we
Yeah.
go on to mamas, and I think that what Shamia did, where she did herself a disservice, was not going there where everybody else is going there with her ass and wearing her out. What you thought?
Personally, I do think they both are at fault. And I agree with Antonio about Portia being more prepared, but I don't think it was much that Shamil could have prepared for because I mean, the thing is, like, they're like Cynthia or somebody said on the stage, they've clearly they've had issues before she came onto the show. They've had issues about the whole wedding, about the whole Phaedra thing, and the mom. Is so much going on that's like unpacked there. We're just now, they're kind of putting it all on the floor, but it seems like Shamia just really has never let go of things. I think Portia has been able to whatever kind of brush past it, which is not necessarily a good thing, but she has been able to do so, and Shamia has not. And I think Shamia honestly wanted to utilize the show to bring light. That hence why she was confiding, because I do believe she was confiding into those girls. I mean, I don't think Angela, Drew, any of them was making this up. You know what I'm saying? So I think the bigger person at fault is really Shamia, because I feel like Shamia just seems like she has a hard time explaining herself and expressing herself. And I understand that that could be hard if you have a friend, maybe like Portia, that doesn't maybe allow you to express yourself. Because I mean, I will say there's been many times in the season where Shamia has tried to express herself, even the scene that they had at the table. And Portia kind of finds a way to manipulate the situation into turning it around. But I do feel like if you friends with someone for so long, relationships can be abusive. You have to find a way to be heard. She said it very clear behind the stage during the reunion that she said that she was going to be heard. And I don't feel like even after this conversation, she was prepared to be heard. I see this comment from Amanda saying prepared to go in on Britt. I think Shamia had a plan to go in on anybody. I think outside of Kelly, she was ready to go to war, but I don't think she was ready for Portia, which is what she should have been ready for, because clearly when they put her next to Andy, that at first chair, it clearly was going to be it was going to be a topic of discussion. I mean, that was like the one friendship that they highlighted as a main storyline. So I don't know. They both at fault. I hate it for Shamia, but Shamia is not innocent. I also think Shamia has been lying for Portia a lot too, and I think that if she had a Mayday, we would hear a whole lot more.
That's true too. All right, now what you got for me, Sammy?
I am probably the unpopular opinion because I don't find both of them to be at fault, honestly, because we know Portia's not perfect. We know Portia can be full of shit, but if this is how they've been moving along in their friendship and their relationship, I mean, what was the purpose of Shamia to come on here and do the thing she did? She was trying to make Portia look bad. We've said for years that we don't find their friendship to be like an even playing field because we thought Portia kind of treated Shamia as if she was up under her. But Shamia was okay with it. At least she played like she was okay with it. So for her to get on the camera, then now she wants to have all these private conversations with the girls, trying to make it seem like Portia's this bad friend, which we've already seen for ourselves. But then now that it comes out, it's the girls' fault because they took it back the wrong way. Well, there should have been nothing for them to take back to begin with. So, I mean, Portia knew what she was doing probably wasn't right, but Shamia was okay with it. She was very passive with it. And then she used her time on the show, her first time as a peach holder, to try to kind of bring Portia down and make us side out Portia in some way. But it didn't work in her favor because she looked fake. You had these conversations with these girls because you wanted it to be put out there. You wanted them, I guess, bring it back to Portia so y'all could talk about it. But then when it was time to play the actual game you wanted to play, you start getting scared and acting like a lapdog again. It's, oh, y'all are doing this because y'all want me and Portia at odds. And, oh, girl, you did that. So Portia may not have been the best friend, but for the situation to play out the way it did, that's not on Portia. That's on Shamia. So I don't know. I do know. I'm going to fault Shamia for this one.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna fault both of them for this one. Like I said, I just think for Portia to sit up and call Shamia nasty, I just think like when you bring up moms, I don't know. I keep going back to the mama thing. That was Portia's attempt to like really undercut Shamia's momentum and be like, you ain't shit and your mama ain't shit. And I just wish that Shamia would have just snapped out of that shit. Like, honestly, for me being on that couch when we are no Kenya not coming, right? But when I found out Britt wasn't coming, they're going to have to fill 12 hours or something, and it ain't going to be about Britt if she's not here. So it's probably going to be a great deal of me and Portia talking about our relationship and bitch the gloves off. It just because the thing about Portia is we've seen her do it with Phaedra. We've seen her do it in the past where it's either going to be her or you, and it ain't going to be her. It's definitely going to be you. So whatever she's got to say, whatever she's got to do in order to get across what she's getting across, she will do it. And I felt like Shamia was caught off guard, but like y'all are saying, I don't know why she would have been caught off guard, but you could tell she was. And like, I'm not gonna go there, and I'm not gonna say that. Bitch, you better say something. You better say something because you're looking bad.
Yeah, she shouldn't have been surprised at all. She shouldn't have been surprised. Portia she aired your mama out. What you thought she's gonna take a light on you? Portia has showed us that she is going to choose herself. So why is Shamia so surprised? Because she keeps choosing Portia over herself. I'm not. If I was Portia, I'm gonna let you do it too.
All right.
I don't know to even say that too, because I feel like even coming into the reunion, I feel like Shamia they both, regardless of Shamia acting like there was room for more, she really had moved on. I could tell. I think she just didn't want to go that far as Portia would, probably would have went. In my opinion, I think she was still trying to hold on to the piece of that sacredness of the friendship, but realistically, I think that they came into that knowing it was a done deal, and I think they came into the season coming that way. That's why you see so much of them trying to give off to us that they're like childhood best friends. They said it like a million times, which it's like they were trying to make us believe it before they did. So I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, because remember Shamia during the season was like, I wish everybody could see the Portia off camera. Portia was like, they don't pay me enough for that. Or whatever it was today. So I don't know, whatever, child. Fuck them. Anyway,
Portia made a comment saying she asked Shamia why they weren't filming together. So that confused me a little bit.
But even the thing with like the moment with the whole celebration on, you talking about that already? Celebration of being on the show versus her sending the message and the flowers. You talking about that already?
That was last week, right?
Oh, that was last week.
Yeah, but you can talk about it if you want to bring it up.
Like they both lying. They both is lying, and honestly,
you be lying too.
When Portia said that, she was like, why are you being away? Because you're lying. I would laugh so hard. And I'm like, y'all are some lying ass. Like they covered each other up for so long that it's like it's just hard to just be truthful now.
I think that's what we're seeing, Cortez. They cover each other's back so much. Now they expose the lies. It's like, do I expose this lie? Because if she gonna expose this lie, they don't know which hand.
Right, they don't know what to lie about and what to tell her.
That's why she had to bring the mama up, because they can't talk about each other. Shamia can't reveal that she really the reason why Portia was Simon. She can't say that, not for real.
And hell, Simon said that Simon didn't say. He said he didn't know if she did it, but he said when she sent that DM, Shamia was right with her ass. So that that
was their first date.
And their first date was a double date.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's a lot of lies there. They just
somebody would have to.
They kissing Ken. They both kissing Ken. They just doing everything together.
It's a lot.
It's a mess. It's a mess. Kelly says that she thinks that Portia's friendship with Britt was calculated. There's a lot. I just want to say I'm probably jumping, but Andy really protected Portia, in my opinion. I want to know, like, for me, the burning question is, it was a reunion. It was like an episode ago. Why that wasn't brought up, or why we didn't see that being mentioned? How could you be friends with Britt when she questioned my mother and about my child? Fuck me and your issues. That's my child, and I don't play about people's children, so I would go to war if somebody was saying, like, how I went to war for Pilar. You know what I mean? Because Drew mentioned Pilar, whether you thought it was shady or not. I had your back, and you're going to befriend this bitch that comes for me and my parenting, my mothering. I don't know. It's just like Shamia dropped the ball. There was a lot of stuff that she could have made an issue that she chose not to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
People just sitting on.
I was saying, because I know initially when I saw Brittany Portia, I was like, damn, you hanging with her based on what she said about her, my daughter. But if you think about it, if Shamia thought what Drew said was so bad in that studio, she kept on trotting along with Drew. So shit, was Portia really wrong?
What Shamia was doing with Drew?
Along with Drew?
Well, yeah, that means she was hanging around with her.
I don't know.
Yeah, if you thought this was so bad, she said this crazy ass comment, you let her just still hang around the studio. She would be getting her ass up out of that studio if it was so bad to me about.
You think she would have just shut everything down?
That's the thing. I don't think she thought it was. I think she thought it was like shady, but I don't think she thought it was like ooh, so bad to where I want to get up and beat your ass or something like that. But I think she thought it was a little bit shady. But we could clearly see what Britt said about, Shamia and her
That was
parents.
nasty.
Now that was nasty. That
That was
was
nasty.
like, yeah.
Okay. Portia says she doesn't have anything else to give Shamia. She has stuff going on in her personal life, and Shamia says that's the difference. Because you see, I be having stuff going on all the time.
You did.
Okay. And I still find the emotional bandwidth to give to you, even when I don't have to do it. Andy says, Shamia, baby, moving forward, just be upfront with this girl from now on and stop sweeping stuff under the rug. And she says, that's what I do best. I sweep it under the rug. And I don't sweep it under the rug. I walk around the rug. I don't even walk on the rug. I walk around the rug. Because that's how I do my friendships. And Andy says, that how's that playing out for you? And it's not.
She said,
Touche. Touche. Drew says, okay, then that's Drew's package. Everybody's giving Shamia the same advice. I know I've said it on this channel. Candy just said it recently. Everybody's saying, stop biting your tongue. You're doing yourself a disservice. And the only place I feel like where Shamia went wrong is what we've all said and we all agree on, I think, for the most part, going from girl to girl, talking about her, because whether it looked like she was trying to stir those girls against her or not, it can be interpreted that way now because you've left it up for interpretation. And I do know in friendships, like say for instance, all four of us have a friendship and Sammie get on my nerves and I go to Antonio and say, Antonio, Sammie really bothering me. I don't know how to approach it. Do you think I should approach it or do you think I should let it go? Is that considered me talking about Sammie behind his back or is that considered me getting advice?
I would see that as advice.
Yeah,
it's advice.
Right, but that's not what the girls say Shamia was doing. The girls was like, Shamia.
That's not what Shamia did. That's not what she did. This girl she did this, she did that. She was talking about the girl. And then it was so bad.
She tried to ruin my engagement.
Yeah, Pinky promised you won't tell her I said this. So she wasn't going for nobody. She was going to vent. And that was
Shamia, so let's be AKAs.
The crazy thing about it is that she's going and talking to people that is at odds with this damn girl.
That's the problem. She was talking to the odds.
Another thing.
You're talking to people that you're talking to Angela and Drew and Britt at this time and Kelly, people who are not looking at Portia in the nicest way or having current issues. So it's like, girl, that doesn't make sense. Go talk to Cynthia, May, at least. Like
Cynthia May. Baby, they did that pinky promise, and that Angela had her fingers crossed behind her back, messy ass.
Angela said Flavor Flav. You say, I'll show you Flavor Flav.
Angela said, what how Teresa wink? She did a Teresa wink, bitch. I ain't gonna tell about it.
But one thing I will say, I think it was a big mistake too for her to come on there trying to do this whole alliance thing or whatever.
Yeah,
I think that was just so like that's so late.
She didn't need one.
But what would make her think that okay, I'm now a housewife? Let me try to whether it was a new girls versus let us interpret that. That should never have even come out. We don't need to hear that you're trying to that. Just makes you look weak. You already look kind of no shade, a little weak because you can't really express yourself. Now you need to come up with an alliance. Why not just come on and just be the person you are and let us like you? But now it's like we don't really like you like that no more because you're just ill.
But my whole issue with that alliance thing was she did not need an alliance.
That's what I'm saying.
She came into the show. Nobody had an issue with her.
Nobody.
So what do you
came
need
to the show looking like she was gonna be that girl? She was the glue for her wig and for that cast.
Exactly. So she looked like the person that was like the centerpiece to the group.
I remember how they showed how she was connected to everybody, and even the ones she didn't know.
All right. So okay, see how to put it right. All right. So then Drew said, well, I just wanted to speak. I think I mentioned it, but I don't know if I spoke to it really, Sammie. Do you feel like, or do all of y'all feel like Andy is protecting Portia throughout this reunion?
I don't necessarily feel like he's protecting her. I think it's like a common sense thing at this point. It's not really what you say to her in regards to this Shamia thing, because Portia's not really at fault. You could tell by the way Andy was speaking to her, like, girl, you're gonna have to be a grown woman over here, because it's like, what is Portia doing that Andy can kind of jump on her about? And only thing as far as Drew, but with Shamia, it's like I don't think it's protecting. I think he just sees what a sane viewer sees.
I mean, he has seen many friendships fall apart on this same couch, you know. So at this rate, it's like for even, I mean, they have clearly have deeper issues. They are true best friends. That was right. We've seen other friendships fall for whatever. So I mean, I think he's just giving advice, and he kind of held her to the fire with the whole Drew thing when she was, you know, kind of. I guess when she was trying to be, what's the word? I can't think of the word about her trying to reach out to her.
I know she was evading accountability in that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
We want to talk
Yeah,
about.
I was just telling Tracy. I watched the Peacock version because I don't think they showed that on
I
Sunday.
did too.
But he was like on Portia, like, come on now, Portia. He even told Drew, let it go because she's not gonna be accountable.
She not
just
gonna-
Well,
she
some
not
things
gonna-
he can't. Some things he can't skate around. Like I don't care how strategic he goes into these because it's not like he gets
Or they
those
won't move
questions
on.
right then. He gets them questions, I'm sure, days before, so he knows how to strategize if it's someone that he wants to. Like Portia didn't have a good season. We all saw it. Everybody was saying it online. I'm sure Andy saw it and Bravo them. So he had to come up with ways so that she didn't, you know, a way of almost kind of redeeming herself. So he could have went harder at Portia. He could have, but he didn't.
I feel like he could have went a lot harder on her too.
Well,
Now,
I think he has to play that part because if you don't, they won't move on. They will literally be sitting and going back and forth. So if somebody like I guess Cynthia, I guess that was her job to do that. But if somebody doesn't like reel them in, he has to. That's your job as a moderator. To be honest, is to try to.
Yeah.
It's not really taking sides. It looks that way because it's Andy. We know him, but that's his job is to reel it in so they can move forward or try to move past the current topic. You know.
Okay. All right. Drew says one of the women that Ralph brought to the basement allegedly was at her daughter's school and she was mean mugging her. Kelly says the reason why she called Drew a liar is because Drew did not purchase anything at the Balmain charity event. Drew says that's not true. I did purchase something. I just purchased it later once my check hit because that's when they had the size in. So I don't know if the money went to the charity or
I
not.
ain't mad at that.
Hey, that's me. That's me this week because I ain't buying something Friday. Okay.
Let me tell you something. Did you buy something at the charity event? No.
I think are you going or is that the?
I'm just saying, like,
I think though that like it was like in Kelly not standing in it and saying, yeah, you know, I was calling you, I was being shady. No, I was trying to be. No, you were not. You was trying to be shady. You could have said if that's the case, hey, this was for whatever it was that was going on. You and you didn't purchase anything. Drew said she showed Kelly, you know, the exchange with the guy that she was purchasing from and all of that, and Kelly did not deny that. I remember her showing that when they were at the table. So I think that Kelly looked for a lot of moments this season. Do I think it's her to be kind of loud and attention seeking? Yes,
yeah.
but I think when those cameras came up, it made it a bit worse as well. And so, you know, I think that was a moment because we know everybody, every chance they got up until a certain point this season was kind of shitting on Drew. So I think this was Kelly's like, oh, I got something for Drew as well. You a liar. You didn't buy anything. And Drew was like, well, I said that you know, I did. So I'm glad that they called Kelly out on that. And, you know, she took a step back and was scared and didn't want to be like, yeah, I thought what you did was some bullshit. She didn't do that. So negative 2 points for you, Kelly.
I mean, I would have just stood on it. I'm gonna let you go ahead and say, I would have stood on it and said, bitch, at the end of the day, you still didn't buy nothing at the event for the charity. I don't give a damn when you got it. You didn't get it in.
You know what? But see, when it comes to that, Drew said that what she was trying to buy that did not have in her size, which is why she was talking to the shopper. So maybe she could have did a better job to make sure that whatever she spent went towards Kelly's charity. But also, like she told Kelly, you also could have, if it didn't go, I didn't know it didn't go towards the charity, so you should have said something to me, and I could either work that out or gave some type of donation. I agree with Antonio. Kelly was just looking for a moment. It felt good to jump on Drew with the rest of the girls. So I'm not mad at how Drew did that. Like maybe she could have been more vocal or told Kelly before she left, like, hey, they don't have what I'm looking for now, so I'm gonna purchase it through the shopper or something. Then they could have made sure that the proceeds went towards Kelly. But the girl bought something. She bought something. She just didn't buy it right then and there, and it didn't go to whatever Kelly was trying to get it to go to. But I don't feel like that's on Drew.
Cortez, what it sounds like they're saying to me is this was kind of like that moment where Kyle held on to the fact that Garcelle chat didn't clear on Beverly Hills until the reunion.
I'm just not really too fond of Kelly, to be honest. I'm like, she's
I
a
can
cute
see
girl,
that.
I guess. I'm just not really like. I just feel like she's just. I still feel like I felt at the beginning of the season. I feel like she's cool and cute, but I don't think when it come down to it that she can just really back up that mouth. And I think it was kind of proven when with Britt in them last two episodes, like how she was eating her up. Um, I'm Drew's been around for a while, but I feel like at some point it becomes a thing to where everyone just wants to have an issue or try to pick on Drew. And it's so fun. I know Jasmine will be here. She'd be like, "Oh my god!" But I just feel like she just wanted to find something. Whether she bought it there, bought it later, it's a cute little deal here and there. After a while, it's like, let it go. Stop trying to make it sound like this girl is broke. She's on the same platform that y'all own, so she more than likely outside of y'all husbands, who one of them Kelly don't have right now. Y'all getting the same check, if not, she getting more. So stop. I'm just saying.
David says, y'all favorite David says, Drew loves to find loopholes. She's a terrible liar and always has an excuse. Sean replies, they all are liars. And on this couch, yeah.
Speak your speech, Sean. Speak your
On this
motherfucking
couch,
speech.
yeah, that's what's most frustrating. I don't know. And at first I was rocking with and believing at first I was rocking with and believing wow. First I was rocking with and believing that Shamia, but can we find out Shamia lying to us? Like I just don't know what to do. God damn.
Where everybody lying. Everybody on the show
Everybody.
lying. The real lies of Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah.
The only person that may not have been live was probably
Who?
Cynthia.
Cynthia.
That's because
And
she was
maybe
confused.
She
Angela.
lied
I don't
before.
remember Angela.
She didn't lie before.
I mean, I'm sure she didn't lie. Oh, yeah, she definitely lied before now.
Now they
Okay, I
said
guess
she
she
been
did
in the
lie at
clear
this
though.
reunion with the whole Kenya thing, saying that they ain't spoke since then, and that's the reason why. But yeah, okay, go
Well,
ahead.
yeah,
So they
her-
all liars. My bad.
Yeah, the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Did Shamia? Okay, so question: did Shamia take the Pilar bone back to be shady? Shamia says from now on she will just keep her mouth shut, and Drew says you should, and then Shamia says, and from now on I will keep my mouth shut, because maybe it was the emphasis on the wrong word. Because initially she said from now on I will keep my mouth shut, and Drew was like you should, and so then Shamia says, oh, from now on I will keep my mouth shut. And Drew was like, I think it's best that you do. I don't know what you keep saying it over and over again. Yeah, shut up. And Shamia says that Drew is fighting. Excuse me, Drew says that Shamia is fighting for her life in this friendship. Portia says she thought Drew and Ralph was fake and she can't keep up with their lies. Drew says, use your brain, girl. And everybody says, ooh, use your brain. Shamia says that since Drew kept calling her a lap dog, she acted like one. She acted like one and set Portia and Ralph up to meet. Angela begged Shamia to please stop saying let lapdog let this thing go. Then Shamia tries to say that Angela possibly was being a lapdog to Drew this season. And Angela says, I'm too big to sit on anyone's lap. And everybody says, ooh. And that broke the girls up then. Drew says that she did not try to sleep with Dennis because he is not her type physically for what she like. And Portia says, bitch, Black ain't all that either. And Drew says, well, what you talking about my friend for? And Portia says, well, why you talking about my friend? Like that. And so Drew does say that if she had a new boyfriend, she will bring him onto the show. And Portia says, or girlfriend. And Drew says, that's you because you were flirting with Ty. Everybody know that somebody's eating you tonight. And so is Ty the only bulldog in Atlanta? Like, what's going on? Anyway, and then from there, the men arrive, and we'll get into that. What did y'all think about Drew's section, Sammie? Because for me, I'm gonna be honest, and I don't care. I do feel that Drew bringing up Pilar, while it wasn't like knife in the back or like just like the worst thing in the world, I think it was light shade. However, I think it was offensive as well because at the time, if the girl does not want you filming with her baby daddy, why would you think she would be okay with you bringing up her child in any capacity? If for me, So to me, I thought it was shade, and I felt like Shamia was stuck in a situation that, okay, we're talking about her and how she brought it back, right? But she brought it back. Imagine if she didn't bring that back in that air. That would have been another thing. And you're not a good friend as you say you are, because you didn't even tell me what she said. You didn't even tell me what she said. So I don't know. What do you think about that, Sammy?
I know when it first aired, we had agreed that if you're not in the best place with Portia, why would you even speak on her child? And I still feel that same way. Whether it was to be shady or not, I don't know. But I do think that the way, based on what Portia's saying, the way Shamia took it back, she was hoping for some type of crazy outcome between Portia and Drew. Anything, she was just trying to do anything to make sure that she stayed in Portia's good graces. So if I can make her mad at this woman and she's not mad at me, we're gonna do that. Again, Drew, as far as her this sex right here, it was typical Drew. I just think at this point everybody was so sick of her being ganged up on that she kind of shined a little bit more. But I don't think that she did anything other than what she usually has done. I guess she couldn't tell that many lies because she was defending herself against lies, so that kind of made her look a little better. But it was just typical Drew to me. She did well. I mean, it was easy to handle Shamia, so that's probably why she did so well. But it wasn't nothing out of the ordinary for Drew when it comes for me at least.
Cortez?
I have nothing to add to this segment, to be honest
Oh,
with
you don't stand on the shade?
you. I have nothing to talk about with this. This is I don't really care about that whole storyline. I didn't care about it from episode 1. So
Okay. Antonio?
Um, so no, I do think that I think Drew handled, herself well during, this, and kind of calling Portia out, putting it back on her, saying, because you was flirting with Ty, and we know you like the girls and stuff like that. And also I would say this, because what's crazy is I was kind of scrolling, and these guys had posted a little clip, from Portia's when she was a preacher back in the day, and she was preaching against, gays and homosexuality and stuff like that. So to kind of see her, really step into her, whatever, and possibly, allegedly, maybe even being the B in LGBT, is good to see Portia kind of, possibly step into that, and own that, yeah, she kissed a girl and she liked it. Clearly Shamia did too. So, for them to, I think that, even also for Portia to kind of say, oh, because, y'all be lying. It's like, I will say this again. I love Portia. I really do. But for her to mention anything, her or Phaedra to mention anything about anybody being a liar, it is comical to me. Like, yeah, Drew might have told some little lies, like, oh, she might have told the people she lost 25 pounds, but she lost 10 pounds instead, or little bullshit like that, or saying that she spent $1,000 on that wig that she gave at the gift exchange, but it was really, $10, whatever the case may be. So, but Drew ain't never told no lies that could have, ended nobody or ruined nobody, and stuff like that. So, I was glad to see Drew, kind of stick up for herself a little bit better, because at the beginning of the season, she wasn't doing it. She was letting them kind of cuss her out and just walk all over her any chance that they wanted to. So it was good to see her.
I wanted to say it's interesting that they brought up Ty at the reunion yet again, because last night on Basketball Wives, they asked Ty, did she ever sleep with old girl? And Ty refused to answer the question.
Yeah, that was bad.
Ty's on Basketball Wives right now, right?
Huh?
At the same time,
Yeah, she
Yeah.
on Basketball Wives.
she get around.
Yes.
But that don't mean, I mean, just because she didn't, that don't mean nothing. I mean, she might want to.
You know what?
I mean, what better way? Because you can't say, Drew
Happy.
can't come back and say you lied to me. You lied on me, because I didn't say, yeah, but I didn't say no. Let's make it hot. Yeah,
But
maybe,
listen,
maybe not.
if you're supposed to be my home girl and you know what's going on about me, and then they ask you, you say that's neither here nor there, I'm not answering that. You have basically told these people that we was doing it.
Because why
She
you
could-
not just lie like everybody else been lying?
Well, she wanna. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe she did. Lap that thing up, eat that taco.
Taco.
I'm not mad at it.
It is Taco Tuesday, but it's also
Yeah.
National Chicken Wing Day. By the way.
I'm
So-
not mad at it.
Yeah. So the men arrive, except for Gerald, who Shamia says is not his thing, but he sent her some flowers. And the men always talk about showing up and doing the right thing, such as Charles does later on in the segment. I know it's not his thing, but if there was ever a time that a man should have showed up for his wife at the reunion, it was this one because she needed him. I'm sure he wouldn't have did anything
Surprised
but
he
be in
didn't show
comfort.
up.
Huh?
I thought he would have showed up.
I thought he would have showed up too. They wouldn't have had. What would they would have asked him?
I
He
mean,
don't want to be on the show.
I don't know. I don't know. Ask him,
Mm.
how cold was the daughter when she threw it across the room? I don't know.
Yeah, because she's still on that baby across the room. Why you ain't be her ass? Like, it's just a lot of questions. I guess you're right. Um, well, he said it. He called Shamia while she was on vacation and said that the nanny's still on the baby. That's what he said.
And the
Said
mama
she
said she was
good.
She ain't had the baby. Didn't have no socks, no scarf,
Yeah.
no hat, no nothing.
They say the nanny was wrapped up, baby, like she was in Alaska. I said, ooh.
And you know the air condition work because that's what he do is air conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Anyway,
All are
yeah,
crazy.
bring him to the reunion next time. I wonder if the backlash and everything that she's going through and all of these things now would encourage him to be more present next
No,
week.
because
If
Jared gonna be
anything,
like, I
it's
told
gonna
your
make him
ass.
say this. It's gonna make him say this. Why I told you not to do this shit in the
Yeah, I
first place.
told your ass not to. I told you I
I
didn't want
done
to do it, and I
told
told you
you.
you didn't need to do it. Yeah.
I told you. I done told you. It was over with the brick off Friday, next Friday. I told you. I done told you with the brick. Anyway, Dennis says he mentioned working with Drew to Portia, but that was more of a convo that he had directly with Ralph, and that he thought that Drew would speak to Portia as that's a woman thing. Portia and Drew argue about what Portia not taking accountability for dodging Drew's attempts, and Portia stands on it because she feels like Drew could just text, "Hey, listen, I'm working with your man," or whatever. Andy says, "Let's move on," because it was like a long 5 minute fight to make up for the fact that Britt didn't show up. Just be honest. Dennis says the text didn't say that he told Drew he didn't want any coochie. He wants his money. Ralph says, "Well, I looked at the text, and what Portia says is correct." He also thought it was weird because Drew told him that Dennis tried to holler at her. And Drew says, "I have never, I knew you was going to get up here and your Beijing to get up here and start this bullshit." Uh, that's the good Lord.
She'd have to call like his
Beijing.
Beijing, but you can clearly see it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a black thing and a deep cut. Like, that's just like, whoa. Okay, anyway. So Dennis says Kelly didn't tell the rest of the story about their interaction, how they met. And Kelly says, I mean, it's nothing, it's strictly business. I mean, he never called me. We only talked on the phone maybe once or twice. It was only about business. Portia plays it off and laughs
These
it off
hoes
because the
be
last thing
lying.
she wanted is to let somebody else get under her skin about a man that ain't hers, even though she keeps tabs on him like he is. Ralph says that Drew lied about the lady at the school because she came to the house, but not inside. Everybody calls that a bunch of bullshit that the lady came to see Ralph and didn't come inside, and neither did he come inside. Catch. And so he says that at the end of the day, he just wants to co-parent and be peaceful. And as his new song says, he wishes her well. All right. Did y'all want to talk about any of that?
No.
Okay. I mean, because
Not really.
not really. I mean, if you have something to say, please. But
Beijing
I
and
will say
bullshit.
Beijing and bullshit. I will say this though, with that text and the way that it was written to me, it was sounding like Dennis was saying, I'm not trying to like fuck you over. You know
yeah,
how, but you know, in the urban community, we might just leave it at I ain't trying to fuck you, but not necessarily meaning, carrot in a donut, or whatever, or in a taco, or whatever it is, that they do. It's, more saying I ain't trying to fuck you over. I'm just trying to get some money. That's what I thought. But I think, honestly, I think Portia knew that. Clearly, she knew that because then she came out later on and said, "Oh, well, Drew was talking to somebody named Black," and she got that from Dennis as well. So it's like you knew all along that it wasn't nothing going on between them. I think that that goes back to Portia kind of her season being a little floppish because she was looking for something to kind of carry her through the season. But I'm glad that they got that settled. I do think that Ralph was lying, as we know that Ralph has lied as well. Damn, everybody on that stage literally
they
is a
be
Lying.
liar,
lying.
other than maybe Charles, because he kept it real.
Oh,
But
shoot.
Ralph saying, because I remember at the last reunion he tried to make Drew look crazy and say she was lying about him going to the little Chippendales audition or whatever, and Candy had to step in and say, "Yeah, I talked to the people. They did say you were going." So I think with him, he takes any opportunity he can, and it sucks because he is such a, a handsome guy, but to be that kind of
Corny.
lame and whack and corny, it's just like it balance, it just erases all of any handsome you got is just erased. So I don't think that Drew told him that at all. Like I just don't think that she told him that Dennis was trying to get with her. I think that this was another attempt at Ralph, trying to make Drew look bad, or
Mm-hmm.
or him taking that whole, Drew's a liar, and him trying to run with that narrative. It was yeah, I was over it, but I'm glad it's over, and I'm glad that they settled that.
I agree. I think it's actually sad that he will go through those lengths. Like it's just like it's not. Even if she did do it at this point, don't nobody care. Don't nobody believe it. Fuck or don't. I don't know what to say at this point. Fuck or don't fuck. Okay. Um. Charles says that he was not hiding a wife, and a lot of the ladies say that they know him, but they do not. He was there at the wedding. And Angela. Wait. I feel like I skipped something. Okay. He was there at the wedding. Angela took Shamia. Okay. All right. So he met, well, Angela says, not Angela, but Shamia says that she's met Charles on multiple occasions. Charles says he was in the building and at the wedding, but they never met, you know. We have seen pictures now posted that they have indeed met. And Angela says that she took Shamia, saying, all these years I never knew Charles had a wife. Nice to meet you, as a dig. Charles clears up the Wendy Williams allegations. As Charles says, he never had a side baby on Angela. Angela was trying to comfort Wendy, and whatever at her time of whatever need, and Wendy misinterpreted it and went on her show and reported it. Charles has said that Wendy has also invited him over for multiple wine multiple times, but he is allergic to cats. And so Angela says, so were you going to go? And he was like, I like wine. He also gets into Phaedra's ass because he says he does not know Phaedra either. Phaedra says they have also been in multiple rooms and she knows him through Sheree. And Angela says that Phaedra was being shady by bringing up, their marriage and all of that stuff, and whether she knew Angela 10 years ago. And Phaedra denies that it was shade. It was shade, Phaedra girl. What did y'all think
Definitely.
about the Charles segment in general? Excuse me, Cortez.
You said okay. So I know people online are like raving about Charles and saying like, oh my god, they wish that he was there, or that Greg was here because they reminded him of Greg and it would be great. I do think he's great husband. I still don't think he really answered. I don't feel like he really spoke to how he made her look on camera. I mean, I think he definitely cares for her. I don't think he doesn't like her. Like, this is not a situation of what's the lady from Housewives of Miami that we used to say, Elisa and her husband, like he don't want her. I don't think of them two, right? But he could do a little better, regardless if he wants to be all up on his wife on camera. He could do a little better when she's calling just for a simple hello or moment, some kind of warm moment. He could do a lot better, in my opinion. But I do like him. He said he didn't meet them ladies. I mean, what he said is kind of true. I don't know why. I mean, I know we have liars. I get it. The whole couch is lying. I don't feel like these ladies are just lying about meeting him. I think he just doesn't remember. I think that's what it is. And I think it probably wasn't like a formal meeting. It probably was because he's Charles Oakley. This is just Shamia and this is just Phaedra. So it probably wasn't anything too big, but I don't think they got to lie about meeting the man. I mean, he's
I
Charles
think
Oakley.
they met him. He didn't meet them.
Correct. That's what I think.
That's what
Like, I think they definitely encountered him. They spoke, whatever, hug, maybe took a picture. I don't know, and that happened. I think that's what they mean. But he's making it literal in the sense because he also has his guard up because he knows that the women have been talking about
right.
him and his wife. So he's probably on that guard. Honestly, that's how I feel.
And I also think, I mean, he's Charles Oakley, so he goes around meeting people all the time at events. But I also think he more so because they were using that as a dig towards Angela, like your husband's been hiding you, and he's around here. Like Shmid kept saying, we hear Charles be outside, and Charles does X, Y, Z. So he was letting them know, like, we may have met, but y'all don't know me to be saying that I'm hiding my wife.
Oh, we can't hear you.
No, I was.
You went out. Okay.
Y'all didn't know I was married. It's like y'all don't know me to know what I got going on. So I think more so that's what he was kind of trying to highlight. But I got what he was saying. Like, yeah, we in the same areas, but y'all don't know me. We haven't met per se.
See, and that's the whole thing. And we kind of had this with Phaedra before, where it's, oh, I know this person and stuff like that. Just because we might have been in the same room or we might have even said hi, that don't mean that you know me. Phaedra on the show made it seem like, oh yeah, Charles, yeah, he's a lot of fun. Like they just be out on the town. They had motherfucking toast on Linux for brunch and shit like that. But then she gets to, she did throw her shade at Angela. It was him being, her being shady, saying that, they didn't know that she didn't know that he was married. But then she on the couch said, well, I ain't seen Charles in 10 plus years. So if you ain't seen him in 10 plus years, how would you know that he was married then? Unless you Googling him or something like that. But I don't know, that whole thing, oh, I know this person. I think that Shamia may have did it right when she said she's met him before. She probably did meet him at the wedding. Hey, how you doing? I think I seen a picture of him and her husband, or whatever. So they might have met and he just forgot. Like Sammie said, he probably meets a lot of people all the time. But Phaedra made it like, oh, they be kicking it. We've been on the plane together going to, Greece and Dubai, and we've been at the Polo Classic in New Jersey and stuff like that. Like, it was, but she's a huge liar with that ugly outfit on and that ugly headpiece and those big earrings hanging from it. It was just,
oh my Lord.
She really, like that whole, and then she said nothing else the entire, I think that was the only time she said something. And then, she didn't stay in. Like, no, go ahead and show why you was brought on as a housewife with 2 weeks left. Like, go ahead and stand in your shit. Yes, I know you. We did it, but she didn't. She folded just like she did in season 9. She just
They didn't want none of Charles Oakley, and obviously they have met him. And as y'all said, he didn't meet them; they met him. But I think for me, what annoys me with people is like when people, okay, something happened, right? And the other person is saying that did not happen. That's not true. You're lying, bitch. Don't call me no liar. Just say you don't remember, baby. How hard is that? You don't remember.
About Charles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, she said she knew Charles though. It was different than
Phaedra said that, but Shamia didn't say. I don't think Shamia deserved all that smoke. I don't.
Oh,
I do.
Well, let me say this. Also, I think too.
I bet you do.
I know that they were kind of like fibbing and studying a little bit, but I think they were doing that because they didn't have a male figure but behind them for support. Shamia's husband wasn't there, and what's her name didn't have Chester. So I think that's why. If they had had a man behind them, I think they would have been able to approach it better. But I think knowing who Charles is and how he is and his history and his mouth and stuff like that, I think they were just kind of taking the high road. I don't think they were just studying because they were scared. I think they were just like, we're not going to do this. I don't have a man behind me to.
I think they were stuttering because they, especially Phaedra, I think he just lied.
Yeah, if you've been trying to use knowing me as a dig to my wife and saying I'll be outside and you heard about Charles and you know what Charles be doing and now I'm here, you ain't got no choice but to stutter because you've been sitting up here lying this whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the topic at hand wasn't that it was just have we met or not? It wasn't any of that.
No, yes, Andy said, do you know Phaedra? He said
who?
No. Andy said, do you know Phaedra? And he said no. Or do you remember whatever? No. And he said no.
And then he came back and said, "Well, I don't maybe I don't remember." It was like it's like he was sticking to it, and he'll be like, "I don't know, I don't remember." I'm like, "Okay, well, do you remember? What is it?" That's just me. I don't know. I see.
No, she brought up when you were dating Sheree. He was like, "I was dating Sheree." I mean, I knew you. But she was trying to use him as Sheree. Yeah, like
get up. Read our new banner at the bottom.
Sammie so nasty. What you do?
So nasty, so rude.
Mm-hmm, you so nasty. I do. I don't get it.
I do.
I agree. Era content. I completely agree. He clearly met both of them, but to defend his wife, it made it right.
I don't know how it was clear that he met both of them. I think he might have met Shamia, but the thing at hand was Phaedra saying she knew him, and you clearly don't know this.
How many people have y'all met that y'all don't remember?
A bunch.
Exactly. So imagine them speaking on your character and the things you do when they don't know a damn thing about you other than me.
Exactly. That's it.
Oh, absolutely. Oh no, he deserved to get into Phaedra.
He deserved to do what he did.
Well, I'm talking about Shamia because
I'm just don't know about Shamia ass.
I just got to declare nasty because I think that Shamia.
No, you nasty because I said I don't think he deserved to get a Shamia ass. He's talking about I do.
I do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He was just like, and he started with Shamia. He was like, Well, and Shamia said she know me. I ain't never met her. I'm like, okay. You would think that she was the one that was talking ill about their marriage and stuff like
said,
that.
I never said I knew you.
She made comments with Portia. I didn't ask you Charles be outside and that Charles be doing this and Charles be doing that.
I'm so glad you
What
brought
about that baby though?
That's not her. That was Kelly. She should have been getting that Kelly. That's what she should have been getting that.
Well, no, he should have been getting that. This is why I asked what I asked earlier, and Sammie was so nasty and said no. This is why I asked what I asked earlier, because he should have been getting at Portia, but it was not even fucking brought up while he was on the stage, and she said that she would fuck him. So that's why I asked, was they protecting Portia ass?
I don't think they protected her. I just think that she knew to be quiet, and that was that on that.
And she know what an ass would look like. God damn.
But I don't think she would have reacted the same way as them. She would have been she would have definitely did.
It should have been brought up. I'm sorry. As big of as it was this season, it carried us through the middle part of the season. It was on the tip of everyone's tongue. It caused Angela to break up a friendship. It caused a lot of drama. It caused a lot. It should have been brought up.
That's why Shamia be moving how she moved, because everybody else want to blame everybody else except for her ass for what's going on.
Well, sometimes Shamia got to learn to sometimes sit back and let somebody get in trouble on their own. She always getting involved. I'm just saying, honestly, should have been getting that Kelly, because that whole comment. What about that baby though? What that's first of all, that took me out. That little sound bite. What about that baby? That takes me out. But Kelly, yeah, whatever. All of them should really get it.
I just can't believe that was not brought up. And what's funny to me is it reminded me, right, of like, okay, so I have a younger brother, and I remember one time very vividly. Both of us got in trouble this time, right? Both of us got in trouble. My little brother is like, he was perfect parent. He never got in any trouble. Me, okay, right? So this time, this time, both of us got a spanking, right? Or whatever you want to call it. But he went first. And I was watching them go first, and I was like, they finna tip my ass. They beat his ass. And it reminded me of how Phaedra was looking. Wow. Charles was getting into the ass. She was looking like, I know he finna let me have it, if that's what he got for her. But I wanted to touch on, because someone said earlier he had to do that because, he was protecting his wife and all of those things. But he was not protecting his wife when he said he would have went over to Wendy Williams' house and she didn't have no damn cat for wine, because he like wine. So just don't be getting Charles's logic. I'm sorry.
Well, Charles, clearly got, somewhat, kind of, Sheree ain't tall, but she built, Angela built, so Wendy, built, big, whatever.
Charles and Sheree was Charles. I
think Charles say my intentions are good, so I don't know what the hell.
But I don't think that he
would have had this wine and I'm gonna leave. That's what Charles said.
How was he protecting his wife if he dated Sheree way before he even met Angela? Him and Angela only been married, 10 and 11 years, somewhere along in there. And he's supposed to date Sheree back, 2005, 2006, somewhere along in there. So how was he protecting his wife by saying he don't know Phaedra? I don't know you. Just like Nene told her ass, I don't know you.
I think everybody know her, baby. I'm
But she knew everybody but them damn. But
she don't know Angela. She don't know Kimberly.
Exactly.
Well, everybody know you, but Kimberly.
She don't know Kimberly.
I got a point. I don't know.
Shoot, Athens only got 2 high schools and 3 middle schools.
Okay. And you didn't go to high school with me. You went to high school with my oldest brother. So that means Jacques, Kimberly, and Nene know each other. Nene, give us the tea, Nene. Before we go, just very briefly, I know y'all wanted us to touch on the crash out of the century. And I want to say about Shamia, what's disappointing is when she was the brand new housewife on the scene with the $9 million mansion and the glue for her wig and her family and the group, she was riding that wave to the fullest. And now that it's her down part of the season, she is crashing out and she's not able to handle it. And you got to be able to handle the highs and the lows. And for us to see you act like a baby when you're going through the low, it is disappointing. And I apologize to Sammie last week. I ain't doing it this week. For once, Sammie was right. And that was it. And that's all I had. Go ahead, Sammie. Sammie never liked Shamia in the first place. And didn't understand
I didn't like her. I just feel like she was peaked.
You didn't like her. Now don't get up and lie.
I didn't feel like she was peach material, and given the prayer circle she had her mom and her auntie doing on YouTube, I think I was kind of right.
I said
They did a prayer circle for real.
Yo,
You
yes,
just a prayer circle.
they were speaking in
wow.
tongues.
You ain't seen it,
They-
Antonio?
I didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw the clips, I saw where she gave everybody an I'm sorry, and then she started saying, "Hey,
it was a part of
hey,
that.
I'm
Like,
gonna go in on everybody. Leave me alone and stop poking the
Wait,
bear." I'm
nigga,
like,
No. Okay, so this is how I posted the clips in order. So, the stop poking the bear stuff was at the beginning of her video. She addressed
and then she
Drew.
apologized. Okay.
So she addressed each one of the girls, then her mom and her, I don't know who the other lady was. They came in and they were saying that, you rise above and you're a child of God and you get up there and do what God and you keep it before the Lord, as her mom would like to say all the time, keep it before the Lord and all of
they
these
had
things.
the violin playing in the background. It was so pathetic.
It was bad.
the little video.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
bad. Her 41-minute video. And then from there, right, the lady is just like making all these weird, but somehow kind of hitting like references. Like she's like, the girls are pit bulls, and the one thing about pit bulls, they like good meat, and the pit bulls are attacking you because you good meat. And I was like, this is okay.
I didn't get that far because I heard a little bit of, you know how her mama was talking. I heard the mama doing that little preacher voice. I said, let me keep scrolling.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on about good meat. What's going on?
Well, she was trying to say that Shamia is a good person, and the reason why they are attacking her like pit bulls is because she's made out of good quality and good meat. They don't attack no rubbish. They don't attack no cube steak. They attack, a good steak. You get what I'm saying? Like that, right? And I was just like, this lady here, I don't know if you need, I don't want to speak on that, but I personally did not post the clips of them praying over her and speaking in tongues over her because y'all told them girls up on Married to Medicine when they were speaking on tongues over
that's a bit much.
I wasn't gonna have to happen.
They should have told her like Angela told Charles, you get in the pool, you better learn how to swim because Shamia drowned.
But
I seen the little piece of video that Shamia filmed after the reunion was over. And when I seen that, I said, "Oh yeah," she knows she got her ass twisted.
And this is what. Thank you for the segue, Antonio. This is the video, you guys.
What a day. Okay.
This is music.
First off, I just want to say, I'm happy reunion is done. Y'all. I mean. While I'm happy to have a peach, it's just been exhausting preparing for reunion and knowing that you're gonna have to recap an entire season of feelings, emotions, and all the above. So I had anxiety leading up to it, but now that it's done, I mean, can you believe we wrapped 10 p.m. damn near? Like, oh my goodness. I felt it went well, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel like I was ill prepared, like with the whole receipt thing and all that shit. Like I didn't, and for me, I'm just not a combative person. I'm not a dogmatic person. I don't like to go back and forth and argue all the time about stuff. Like it's draining, right? So I find myself naturally wanting to shut down on things. So when it came down to like just going in or it was like, you find yourself in shouting matches, you're yelling, and I don't know, I don't want to say you give up, but just kind of be like, what's the point? Like, I feel like there were times where I was able to get my point across, but then other times I was not. I felt like railroaded, almost like just not heard, and I guess at this point I just have to be okay with it. And then I felt like people were playing like word games. It was like word semantics, like, and I'm in my head about a lot, and I'm thinking about a lot. I'm thinking about like, damn, but did I say this right? Could I have done it better? Could I have made my point better? There were some things that I wanted to say that I forgot to say in the heat of the moment. So for that, I have some disappointments with myself that I wasn't really able to state my case as good as I felt like I could have.
All right. So there was that. She acknowledges that she got her ass towed up. While Ralph was back there playing the piccolo. And
I wonder what she type in sad tunes and then she put that on her thing.
I don't know how she found out on CapCut.
Oh, that's that free music you can use
On
on
CapCut, yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah. Hashtag sad shit. Please give me some of that sad shit. And from there, Candy has spoken out and said that as far as she knows, as far as she knows, Shamia does not play. Somebody don't know what did not text me during the review. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. Shamia does not plan on quitting the show, and she plans on returning, but she did advise her to either shit or get off the pot. Basically, say what you got to say to them hoes and keep it moving because they not sparing you no expense and they eating your ass up and you sitting around here crying like a little bitch and you wanted to be on this show so motherfucking bad like you ain't watched 15 seasons and participate in half of those 15 of the seasons and know how nasty these hoes get and know that this is what comes with the territory and you thought just because everybody liked you at the beginning everybody was going to love you at the end and it don't work like that sometimes. So when you come back to this motherfucking show you pull up your big girl panties, you tighten your bob up, roll it up like this and get the cussing them hoes out if they bring up your mama, get the cussing them hoes up if they bring out your children, get the cussing them hoes out if they bring out your husband, get the cussing them hoes out if they keep making you feel with Kelly on purpose, and do your big one because it is sad, and it is sad not for the reason why you think it's sad. It's sad because what you're trying to do is emotionally manipulate us into stop talking about your ass. Look at me, I'm crying, and y'all feel bad for me, and people eating you up in the comment section even more. So tighten up and get it right, Shamia, because you and Kelly, honestly, y'all are the kind of girls that they give a second season to, but they may not give a third if y'all don't get it together. And I feel like both of them need to get it together. And I think that every season that Drew is on, Drew need to get it together because she'll be on the chopping block too. And that's just honest advice. That's just true tea. I think everybody else safe and good to go. Phaedra's on a guaranteed contract. Angela, so let that go. She's on a guarantee. Okay, so she's gonna be there whether she contributed or not. But
Angela said no, she wasn't.
She said you're not. Andy said no, she is. I gave it to her. She ain't on no guarantee contract, bitch.
No, man.
Anywho, speaking of contracts, what did you guys think of allegedly K Michelle and Pinky Cole getting a contract and filming in 2 weeks allegedly?
I'm disgusted.
That's rough. Why?
I don't understand where they're going with this show. And I love K Michelle. She's from my hometown, I love her on shows. And I don't know much about Pinky. I know she's got a business and is it Slutty Vegan or something? What is it?
Slutty Vegan. But I don't know if they still open or not though.
I thought she lost it and bought it back and then
she told Nene something, child. So
I just don't know what's happening, but it can come on next season and I can be like, ooh, I just don't know. It's not because K Michelle was on Love Hip Hop, like this has nothing to do with it. I just don't see her on this show. There were other women that they could have probably pulled that may have already been somewhat tied to the group in some capacity that they could have maybe tried to get. I don't know, maybe they did, I don't know, but I'm just seeing these two, I'm like,
yeah.
I think it's interesting, and I just literally just got that saying that some of the girls is on a chopping block. And catch this dirt: you got an actual musician, and you have an actual restaurant owner, a restaurateur.
Well, why is Kelly not an actual one? Her restaurants are up.
I'm not saying that Kelly is not, but what I'm saying is they also are bringing in people who directly compete. Well, not directly compete, but are in the same space. And so you can coexist while you're in the same space, but I don't feel like they're bringing them to coexist. I feel like they're bringing them to animosity and eventually replace somebody is what I'm feeling. That's what I think.
Direction is losing me, to be honest.
I already seen K Michelle posted something and Shamia was on her thing posting hearts and
oh
like
God, girl.
Alliance.
Please.
Alliance. And honestly, let's just call this what it is. We're getting these people. Yeah, we need new blood. But K Michelle is to make up for the fact that for whatever the reason they're refusing to bring back Kenya, and we're never getting Nene back at this point. That's what this is about.
I don't think that K Michelle is the answer for that.
Amanda K
I
said,
mean, I've seen K Michelle, watched her on because she was on pretty much. She was on what Love and Hip Hop. She was on Atlanta. She was on New York. She was on LA.
mm-hmm.
I mean,
And a spinoff.
and yeah, and so I mean, she was cool for, and not no shade, but she was cool for that.
For that,
to me, I don't know Pinky. I mean. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna still watch because they all black, and
they already have women on the cast that don't like. Honestly, Kelly served no purpose to be at the reunion. She had nothing going on. She was just there. So I feel like they already have women like Kelly who barely have anything going on. So, why bring new faces? Can we have some time?
Give it to try to
right. This is Drew's fifth season.
Yeah,
probably her best season to give anything. I mean, it took Drew 5 years to freaking give us this. So these women, it takes time to, for them to like get with the group. And I don't know, like I know we lost Britt, I get that, but we're gonna bring 2 new faces. Shamia, to be honest, she's a new housewife. She's still a new face. When you think about it, she's been around, but I don't know. They're not giving us time to just really have a great like sisterhood. This sisterhood they talk about, we're not seeing a sisterhood because these hoes don't know each other.
I think it'll be just kind of seeing. I mean, and TV being the real your real person may be different than being on like a show like Love and Hip Hop or something like that. So just kind of seeing, I guess maybe K Michelle's personality on there. I'm just kind of like, I would like to see it. I mean, I'm sure she'll get along with Cynthia.
I don't think so. Them heifers get up there blowing them notes. She gonna cuss them out. So that's that. So you might want to get in the vocal class.
Yeah, if I was Drew and Kelly and to me, I would be her friend because I wouldn't want to be going against K Michelle in a mouth wars. I would not.
Yeah, now that's true. That is true. She'll go low. So
she will go low. She ain't gonna do much. She will go low and she'll come with some good old, as we say in Memphis, some good old checking.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of checking, we're gonna go ahead and check on now. Did you guys have any final thoughts of the season? Overall?
That is over.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it better than the last couple of seasons that we've gotten.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a good block.
You reviewed it and then I did because I'm like, woo.
Well, speaking of reviews,
and it just started like.
It did. I agree. It started out great, and it kind of went like a little.
After Kenya left, it was like, whoa.
I wish they would have went back and like revisited maybe like a Shamari or Eva or something like that. I will say why they just when Marlo bombed, they were just like, oh hell no, we never even gonna mention her name again.
Honestly, to get rid of Marlo and bring on K Michelle, I don't know. I mean, hello.
I don't know. I'm curious. Are they like trying to compete with like, you got baddies, you got Love and Hip Hop, you got all the younger girls. So they're trying to compete with that.
Oh, okay.
Probably. Thank you so much, Dote. I don't think they should either. They should continue to skew in the opposite direction and be diverse. Thank you so much, Dote Delicious, for your super sticker. We appreciate you. Sir Capricorn had a super sticker. Melody Shari would have been a good addition, in my opinion. Melody from
Huntsville.
Yeah. Okay. She's no longer on Huntsville. So
and you know what? They could have brought Mariah. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Mariah who?
That's not
Mariah Carey is busy, baby.
Not Mariah Carey, honey. They could have brought Mariah. I know Chase would have loved that.
Mariah Carey that busy making that music she making by the sounds of what I heard last week.
I like that song.
I'm gonna keep it soft. I'm gonna keep it sweet.
It's neat.
I'm over here dancing like Sutton was on that finale episode.
Now I did like. I came in the club rocking Valenti. I like that one now.
something in the 9-inch Fendi. Yeah.
Hey, just like Mariah Huck would have did if she got cast on this motherfucking show.
You know what? They could have also brought Lisa. I know that's Chase's favorite woman from that's
Lisa Nicole.
I wanted to say
Nicole.
just very quickly, I had an interview yesterday. I was interviewed by Victor Jackson over on Instagram, and he did like a quick game of word association with me. And so he was bringing up reality television stars, and he said quad. And I had this reaction, and I was like, which one of y'all did somebody tell him to ask me about quad? Because the reaction I had was just, I hope she doesn't see it.
They probably watched some of your footage.
No, you said she was charismatic. You did.
I cleaned it up, but
I can see quad on Housewives of Atlanta.
I would have liked it too. When they all voted her off of that trip in Napa, she should just got on the plane, just like Phaedra did.
Like Phaedra.
Right across the street.
That would have been sickening.
Yeah, that would have
went right on over and got her a guaranteed contract.
But no, she stuck with them old hoes. She stuck with them old hoes running for governor. With that being said, thank you guys so much. Cortez, while we have you here, and you're talking about shows that you're glad that you didn't do, what are some shows that you are doing? Because the people want to know when Alina's coming back.
They've been asking.
I had a conversation actually with Danny yesterday, and I was just talking about just what we were going to do. So I said that I would commit to Potomac, Salt Lake City, and Beverly Hills, going into the next little phase, but obviously upon availability. So I got to check at everybody in the chat and see who wants to do what and who wants to be a part, and we'll go from there. But those 3 shows I will commit to doing. Any other show, unfortunately, you can just not count on Aline doing it. That's just not what we're about now. But I will commit to that.
Yeah, y'all have it, so y'all can stop asking us.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Beverly Hills, Potomac, and Salt Lake City. Those are the 3 shows. And if they start going down the path that Jersey, Atlanta, and Miami have gone, they will get dropped too.
Whoop, there it is. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate you. Yes. Make sure you like, comment, turn on the notification bell, subscribe. I may have a special drop on Basketball Wives this week. So look out for that. I don't know if I am or not.
That show is crazy.
I know. It's some things I want to talk about because I feel like ain't nobody cuss Brittany Renner out. And since she can call everybody a bitch, we're going to call her a couple on the thing. From there... happy hour, and we also have a podcast exclusive interview dropping with Oliver Sims. You guys know him on social media. He does all of those reenactments and everything like that. We had a conversation with him, so that'll be dropping this week. Thank y'all for tuning in. Of course, Mojito Mommies on Thursday, and we will see y'all when we see y'all. But that's it for this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Thank you, Lord, and thank everybody, and we'll see y'all when we see y'all. Bye.
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 Yeah. Ooh, I'm joking. I'm joking.